3, 2, 1. Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light, YouTube fans and friends, Facebook fans and friends, everybody out there in the online community. Want to welcome you to our weekly Ask Michael Anything YouTube and Facebook Live. I'm so excited to be with you here this evening. You know, usually this has been a process, and usually I'm I'm still a little bit intimidated by this process, but each week I'm getting more and more excited for the lives. In fact, now Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday I have the lives, Thursday I teach a class for my automatic writing program, are now my most exciting days of the week. So I want to dive in and we're going to talk about everything fear and failure related and stepping past that. Before I do that, a few housekeeping items to take care of. First off, we have our automatic writing program sale. It is on sale through the 31st. So through Saturday evening at midnight, you can get half off on our automatic writing program. Simply come on over to inspirenationuniversity.com, click on the automatic writing program, and then add in the coupon code AWESOME50, all capitals, AWESOME 50, and you'll get 50% off. Again, that's inspirenationuniversity.com. That's the first thing. Second thing, we have a coaching sale. We have 4 spots left at coaching at quite a bit off for springtime. If you're interested in coaching, you can sign up for a free strategy session with me. Be happy to talk one-on-one, see if coaching is a fit for you, see if it's a fit for you now. Simply come on over to inspirenationshow.com/coaching. Again, that's inspirenationshow.com/coaching. The sale ends when those 4 spots are filled, and I have had a record number of strategy sessions this week. I have more coming up, and my guess is the sale will be over very, very quickly. So come get a free strategy session before it's over. And I'm happy to talk one-on-one with you. And lastly, we are 100% supported by you, our viewers and our listeners. So to support the show, become a Backstage Pass member. Become a part of the Inspire Nation family by visiting patreon.com. It's patreon.com/Inspire Nation. Again, patreon.com/Inspire Nation. With that said, I've got Jessica behind the scenes running things here tonight. I was unfortunate enough to gift her with a cold a few days ago, so she's probably going to be very quiet as she does her best to run everything behind the scenes while keeping her energy levels on the down low. So let's talk about being excited. Why am I so excited about this? Because I'm starting to get comfortable. I'm starting to get in the groove. I'm starting to be able to breathe while I'm live on camera. That is new to me. You see, although I've done over 800 shows, oh my gosh, we're at show number like 824, I think, tonight on Inspire Nation. That's with having another guest or having somebody to bounce ideas off of. And that's not live on camera. On camera, I used to just freeze up and wouldn't know what to say. In fact, we made a mindful running program years ago. It was a beautiful program, but it is an example of failing and not failing fast. I'm going to put failure in quotes here because there really is no such thing as failure. But I was terrified on camera. And so we had to write script after script and record and re-record and then re-record again. And then we really burned Jessica out and got her quite sick, having to edit and re-edit because I was so tight and rigid and terrified on camera. Thing is, it took so long to come out. It was our second failure in a row. First, we took a long time to release our barefoot running DVD when we had the #1 exercise and fitness Kindle book in the world. And people were asking for a DVD and asking, and we wanted something perfect, and we wanted something really incredibly perfect, and we wanted the best in the world. And by the time we released it, we'd missed the wave and it sank. That was a failure. Then we go from mindful running. I'm scared behind the camera again. Ironic because it's a program on being mindful, on being present. But we released that in an untimely fashion, and that also sank. The great news is both of those led us to where we are today. Barefoot running led to mindful running, where we didn't want to talk about getting out of our shoes. We wanted to talk about meditation, quieting the mind, dropping in. And the mindful running program, we ended up recording some interviews just before the end. Actually, it was supposed to be 3 or 4 interviews. It ended up being, I believe it was 44 interviews. At which point, Jessica's going, "Dear God, stop, Michael. Please stop. I can't edit 44 videos." Here's how this failure game works. When one door closes, another door appears. When mindful running didn't take off, and Jessica got sick, in large part because we ran her into the ground with mindful running, and we weren't very mindful for our lives at the time, and because our finances were on the rocks, with me getting injured, not once, but then twice, and then Jessica getting sick, and focusing on our recordings rather than our business, we're almost entirely wiped out. We were forced to move back from our dream home in Maui to the East Coast to circle the wagons and start again. But out of that, quote, failure came our greatest success. We had learned from mindful running that I love doing interviews. Again, when one door closes, another one appears. We realized mindful running wasn't the way to go. And that's an important lesson. When the door closes, don't try to slam your head against the door to try to get it to open. Look and see if there's another path around, above, and completely different direction rather than to try to bang your head against the wall. And so we stepped back, licked our wounds from our failure and said, what is it here to teach us? And then we started stepping forward. Why am I mentioning that today? Well, because I had a very interesting situation, which if you get our newsletter, which is at inspirenationshow.com, sign up for the newsletter. If you get our newsletter, then you heard this morning me talking about my latest quote, failure, which is for the last couple of years, I've been working on a beautiful book on automatic writing. In fact, that was the basis for our automatic writing program. But somewhere early in the process, I got lost. It didn't turn out to be the book that I wanted it to be. It wasn't easy enough to follow, and I believe simple is golden. It was too woo-woo down the rabbit hole. It wasn't all-inclusive for people. And so in essence, I went through one editor, and I still didn't feel comfortable. I went through a second editor. It didn't feel comfortable because I had started on a wrong track. My gut was telling me that I needed to stop and start over again, but I wanted to exhaust all options. But I stopped after we got it back from the second editor. I put it down for several months. I didn't pick it up. And this weekend I said, I'm going to make a decision. I picked it up. I dove into the edits on Friday and I said, oh, I'm very confident what my decision is. Saturday, I picked it up again for a few more hours and I said, now I know. I get to rewrite this book. And you could certainly say, I failed, in quotes again, at releasing our automatic writing book after spending literally thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours in edits. But it's not a failure at all. It's a stepping stone on our path. It's help guiding us exactly where we need to be. And we found by releasing programs first, we can use the outline for the program to make the most brilliant, well, I'm biased, brilliant in its simplicity book. Because I'm not trying to be verbose. I'm not trying to fill pages. I'm trying to cut through the chase and get to the heart of the matter. Here's how you do it. Boom, 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 boom. And Sunday, that's what I did. I wrote and I wrote and I wrote some more. And I've got a great start. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here about stepping forward into your success and stepping forward past your failures is that you don't need to take giant leaps forward towards your dreams. You know, that's Hollywood style. You drop everything, you quit your job, everything miraculously works out, which it can. And all of a sudden you've climbed Everest like there was no training involved, like nothing happened. No big deal. But in this world, typically it takes a few steps before you can get to the base of Everest, let alone base camp 1, base camp 2, and so forth and so on. The best way to get to base camp, though, is to start today and take baby steps toward your dreams. So Sunday, I had a bunch of time. I rode for a few hours. It felt great. Woohoo! Back to Monday, and we're having a coaching sale. What's that mean? Lots and lots of strategy sessions. What's that mean? I didn't have, I'll be careful how I'll say that. I was strategically not choosing to take the, quote, time for my writing. Am I putting my dreams aside? No. First off, I believe in front loading. So first thing in the morning, after I do my automatic writing, after I do my meditation, I'm going to get a little writing done. But the thing is, little is the key. If you write 1 page a day, that's a 365-page novel at the end of the year. If you write 1 page a day for half a year and edit a page a day for another half, you've got a completed 180-plus page book by the end of the year. So all I did Monday was write a few pages. And all I did this morning was write a page. And you know what? It feels great. Woohoo! I feel on top of the world because I'm taking small steps toward my dreams, small steps towards putting out this book, and then the next book, and the next book. This book will probably come together in only a month's time because I'll get to work on it on the weekends, and I am supercharged, on fire. So all of those failures of the past are again leading up to success. So what I want to challenge you with this evening is twofold. First off, what are the failures in your life and how are they helping you fail toward success? Secondly, what small steps forward can you take towards your dreams tonight or in the morning and build it into a routine? Build micro routines. Make sure you front load your day for yourself, for your dreams. Get your work in before you turn on the phone, before you check your email, before you go to work. And then no matter what happens, you step forward towards your dreams. Last thought on this. There's a Silicon Valley expression that I really like in some way. It's fail often and fail fast. And that doesn't mean that you have to be a failure. But what it means is if you want to get to 10,000 tries at a light bulb, just like Thomas Edison did, which now illuminates every home in the world. If you're going to take 10,000 tries, then you need to try and try and try and try and try again quickly. Don't worry about perfection. Don't let the perfection bug get you. Instead, step forward. Remember, no mud, no lotus. Get dirty. Get ugly, but get busy toward your dreams. Woohoo! All right, so I'm going to open it up to some questions now. Jessica, do we start with Facebook questions, with email questions, YouTube questions?
Romy had a question on Facebook.
All right, so Romy has a question on Facebook, which I will try to read. I am scared. Okay. After my car accident, I'm finally back. I am scared to drive again. How can I overcome my fear? Great question, Romy. So first off, accidents typically involve some PTSD. This is speaking from somebody who had that. And so there are a few things we can do. Visualization is a great technique. But first, before we go there, I would do some EFT tapping. Grab Nick Ortner's book, grab Dr. Dawson Church's book, check out our videos on tapping, but I would tap and tap and tap again on the fears to help short circuit them, to help get the nervous system to calm down. Then I would visualize driving. I would visualize actually getting the keys in my hand, walking to the car, and finding that first step where the nervous system starts to kick into high gear. And then I would back up a step from there and do some breath work to calm your body in nice and deep down to the belly. back up nice and deep, out, in and out through the nose. Find the last step in your visualization process where you're calm and go there with the breath, or take yourself to a special place. Maybe it's in a forest, maybe it's with a tree, maybe it's a special overlook that you have. And when you do your visualization and you get to that place where you find that you're nervous or you're getting anxious, I want you to back up one step, take yourself to your calm and relaxed place, and then take one more step forward again. Then when you get to that place that you're nervous, back up a step. After you've done this to where you can actually drive the car, then I want you starting someplace silly safe. Start in a parking lot. Start on a backcountry road. Take it bite-sized wins at a time. Places where you know it's easy, where you know it's a setup for success. And you can come back at your driving. Romy, I had to do this to get back to skating. Skating is my greatest love in sports, other than snowshoeing up at like 10, 11, 12,000 feet. I love skating, but I was involved in a near fatal accident skating in 2006. And to start back skating scared the life out of me. And I had to start back ever slowly, ever gingerly. And between you and me, I'm still working out the kinks, but I love it again. It's a true joy. And so I'm baby stepping my way back as well. So beautiful, beautiful question, Romy. So we have next question here is off of email. This is from a woman who is writing child, what do we call it? Child books, I believe it is. She has a beautiful, beautiful poem in her email. And she says, my question for you is, what advice do you have for finding an agent? My lullaby of love has a spiritual nature to it. So I'm wondering if it should be reaching out to the spiritual community instead of the children's literary group. Any suggestion or advice is truly, truly appreciated. I have had a great question, Tara. I've had a lot of experience with finding publishers. My first book, College Confidence with ADD, the only book I've released pre-Jessica, I went to, if I have this right, 85 or 88 different publishers, and then 20 or 30 different agents before I ended up settling on a publisher, and I went agent free. Wasn't the right way to go. Huge learning, but I got the book out there. It was try after try after try. The book Barefoot Running, we ended up pitching all agents first. And we looked for agents online. We looked for agents in forums. We looked for agents in books that have lists of agents. And what I'm going to recommend for you is we looked for agents by the books that the books in our category. We'd go into Barnes & Noble and we would open up the acknowledgments and look for acknowledgments of, I want to thank my agent for, oh, hi, Sir Meowsers. This is Sir Meowsers making a whoa cameo appearance. Mwah. I love you so much. This is not the most graceful pose, is it? But thank you for making a cameo. I'm going to put you over to the side now. So we would look in the books that are the category that we wanted to release. So children's books in this case, or even spiritual children's books, or even spiritual books for children, and look at who the author is thanking, and then reach out to those agents. Realize, it is, why am I spacing her name right now? And the children's series. Jessica, I'm going to ask for some assistance here. Thank you. Harry Potter, the author behind Harry Potter, had rejection after rejection. And I think she was basically penniless. I'm probably butchering her story. 12 rejections in, she was told she'd never be a writer when she finally got a publisher to pick her up. When it comes to finding an agent, when it comes to getting yourself into acting, when it comes to getting yourself into singing, any of these things where there's a high level of competition, Put yourself out there, put yourself out there, put yourself out there. And do not, the most important thing, bar none, and this actually goes for applying for jobs, this goes for dating, this goes in every category in the world. Remember this key important rule. If you remember nothing else, it's not you. No matter who rejects you, no matter why they reject you, no matter what they say, even if they were to say, this is the most awful writing I have ever seen in the world, chances are maybe they lost their puppy that morning. Maybe somebody drove over their foot. Who knows what's going on, but it is not you. You will find a fit. Keep trying, or keep, I don't like the word try, keep stepping forward and going for it, going for it, and going for it. Thank you for the beautiful question. What do we have next, Jessica? Camille on Facebook. Hi, thank you for everything that you do. I listen to your podcast at least twice a week. Thank you, Camille. Do you have any recommendations for quieting the mind before getting into bed and going to sleep? I do, Camille. I absolutely do. So, of course, you can go to the breath and you can just focus on the breath coming in and out through the nose. This is like the simplest way to quiet the mind before bedtime, Camille. But what I would also recommend is oftentimes the reason, we get to look at the reason the mind is not quiet before bedtime. And the reason is because we've been busy up till that last minute, and I recommend getting the electronics down a good hour before bedtime, getting the lights down, getting the stimulus down, eating much earlier in the evening. As you can see, our next program that's coming out is on an evening routine to help people to sleep better. So we want to get the stimulus down and the stimulants, even light is a stimulant, down. But then oftentimes what happens is we're wired because we have pressing concerns and worries on our mind. And so there are two cool techniques that I like to use for people. First is, before going to bed, to look for the top 5 things or any 5 things that are what I call your daily wins. What are 5 cool things that have taken place today that you're proud about? And go hunting. It shouldn't take you more than a few minutes. And if you've got a spouse or a partner, ask him or her, what were your daily wins? And have a discussion about this. This is talking about the positives. This helps get the mind out of the worry loop. And that's typically what we're talking about when it's coming to sleep, is we're trying to problem solve when we're going to sleep. Instead, now you're trying to look for the good stuff. Secondly, there's an ancient Tibetan monk technique that I love for help quieting the mind at night. And that's to look from the most recent event, work your way back through the day, replaying each key event in your mind until you get the earliest. Because what typically happens is it's an email, it's a bill, it's something that we looked at in the last few hours of the evening that's going on, that's creating this thought cycle, this fear cycle in our mind. Oh, I need to take care of that. I need to take care of that. I need to take care of, well, what if, what if? And it's something recent, meaning you just had it imprinted on your mind. If you run through your day backwards, then that recent thing, temporally, time-wise, is very distant by the time you're replaying the morning. Now you're thinking about this beautiful day ahead. You don't have that worry or concern on your mind. Now you can go to the breath. Now you can head off to sleep. Now you can drop in and quiet the mind. But a beautiful interview just came out today by Dean Slider, talking about natural meditation and easy ways to drop in and quiet the mind. And one you can do right before bed is say, I'm rested and relaxed. I'm rested and relaxed. I'm rested and relaxed. And you do this for 5 or 10 minutes. You can do it just laying in bed. You can do it. I have my beaded bracelet here. I am rested and relaxed. I'm rested and relaxed. And it'll help you become rested and relaxed and fall off to sleep. I do recommend meditating every morning. I believe, and it's interesting, I talked with Dean about it, and he goes, oh, don't tell anybody they're strengthening the meditation muscle. That's too much work. But I'm still going to go with it. It helps strengthen the muscle that helps you to learn how to drop thought. It's a practice. Over time of practicing your meditation, it becomes easier and easier to let your thoughts go. The more you practice it on a daily basis, the easier it'll be to sleep at night. I know myself, I used to be the squirrel on crack who couldn't get to sleep no matter what. I went into the student health center probably many times in college because I could not get to sleep. And now I can say, Jessica, okay, let's race. And that's the last thought I remember before I wake up hours later. And that's even with all the work that I'm doing. Now, part of it might be that I'm cooked tired from the day, but part of it is I've learned how to let go of those thoughts, and that comes with practice. So brilliant question. Thanks for asking. Ooh, and I have a Meowsers tearing papers here. So Meowsers is making another cameo appearance and headed down to the floor. Who's next? YouTube here. Okay. Do we have a particular question? Lori Gibson. All right. Scrolling to Lori Gibson. Any idea of how I can change my story of a lifetime of exhausting financial struggle? Laura, that's your backstory. That's what's going to turn you into a superhero. That story is what gives you strength. You are not your story. You are not your past. And where you are now is just a representation of what took place in the past. But Laura, that is your fuel. So what do we want to do? Let's write out a letter to money. Let's write out a letter to the green stuff and say, here's the challenges I've had. Here's the dysfunctional relationship I've had. Can you help me to overcome it? I want to have a better relationship with you. Then let's look at getting a 1%, a 5%, a 10% account, 10% preferred, where you're putting money aside for yourself right away and before you pay anybody else. Then I want you to watch podcasts on making money, on saving money, on becoming abundant. I want you to do automatic writing work, asking, where are my emotional blocks? I want you to do EFT tapping. I want you to do emotion code work and basically throw the kitchen sink at your relationship with money. You can completely change it. Picture yourself, even write a letter to yourself 5 or 10 years down the road when you're now wealthy, abundant. And if your head snaps back, then we understand very quickly there's a block in there we get to work on. But write a letter from your future self of how things have worked out. The future already exists now. I call it the future present. It's already there. We can write it right now in this present moment. Each and every day, each morning you get up, Laura, I want you to write about your future present and what it looks like overflowing with abundance. Note, I did not give you just one thing to do. This is a process, and there are many pieces to this game, to shifting this. Take one piece, build on it. Take the next piece, take the next piece. I do want you to read. I do want you to do podcasts. But here's the trick. You need to take action on this, Laura. Last piece that I have, your languaging very may well be holding you back. We need to start to become aware of your language and take you from a victim of money role to a champion of money. So you get to take like an index card, carry it around with you, or an old school notebook. And each time you catch yourself having a negative thought to yourself about money, make a little tick in there. Count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4/5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/10, and count how many negative thoughts you're having toward money. You can have a second sheet and count how many positive thoughts you're having toward money. Laura, this is your new balance sheet. You want money in the bank. We need to get more positive thoughts than negative thoughts as a starting point. You do this and everything will change. Brilliant question, Laura. I know you can do this, and let us know how it goes. Next question, Jessica. How do you become aware of negative thoughts? Sometimes I think there are more. She's typing this to me because apparently she doesn't want to speak because of the cold. I think there are more than I notice. There are never more negative thoughts than you notice. No, I'm sorry. I can't even pull that off. Just do this. Just start marking them down. Yes, there are more negative thoughts than you notice. But guess what? There are more positive thoughts than you notice as well. It is a muscle to start to be able to notice what's going on in your mind. When you do that, that's half the game. When you can cultivate awareness, everything changes. So just start to mark it down. Notice this. A funny way to say it, notice this. When you catch that you're having a negative thought, when you catch that you're picking on yourself, you're berating yourself, whatever it is, in that moment, you've created a new neural pathway. You've found a way to catch the thought. So don't worry at first going, oh my God, I've got 50, 100, 1,000 negative thoughts a day. That's 50, 100, 1,000 times that you caught yourself having negative thinking. Woo! That's 1,000 times closer towards your goal of reducing or almost eliminating those negative thoughts. Start with where you're at with what you've got. It's perfect. So again, I would go to a notebook, a notepad. Yes, you could probably do it with an app on the phone. I just tend to keep people off of the smartphone and go the kinesthetic, touchy-feely, pull out that pen, tick, put it back away method. The more you catch it, the more you'll find. But you don't have to go where we get lost, and we get lost in the self-help movement, we get lost in the healing movement, is we go, oh my God, I have 1,000 negative thoughts. Can you believe I have 1,000 negative thoughts? I'm Mr. or Mrs. 1,000 negative thoughter. And all of a sudden, we become the symptom. You're not a Mr. or Mrs. Negative thoughter. You're not Mr. or Mrs. Sore knee, sore foot, sore back, or poor short-term memory, whatever it is. That's just a symptom du jour, a symptom of the moment. All of that can be changed. So be real careful when you're doing this that you don't identify with the symptom and use that as a poor me, woe is me, I have so many negative thoughts. Instead, it's a, wow, I've got 1,000 negative thoughts. That's an amazing amount of energy because every negative has a positive. It's the flip side of the coin. All of that negative energy can be flipped on its head. So if you've got 1,000 negative thoughts, congratulations, you've got a lot of energy moving, and you will learn to flip that, and you will be on fire. Brilliant question. Thanks so much for asking. Next question from Romy. Again, what's the difference between affirmation and affirmation? An affirmation is an expression, a positive expression, sort of like, I am wealthy and successful. I am wealthy and successful. I am wealthy and successful. A beautiful affirmation to help you bring about wealth and success. Now, Noah St. John put a twist on this that I really like. He says, if you say you're wealthy and successful and your subconscious doesn't believe you, it's going to blow the whole thing up. So he says instead make an affirmation, and which is basically a way to get the mind working on the problem at hand. So instead of I am wealthy and successful, say, how did I get to be so wealthy and successful? How did I become 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 so wealthy and successful? And the subconscious goes, I have no idea. Let me get to work on this and I'll get back to you. I love affirmations for last thing in the evening before going to sleep because I love giving the subconscious a polynomial to get working on, something that is going to mull over and spin over time after time after time again. So you can't go, as earlier we were discussing about wealth building, you can say before you go to sleep, how did I become so wealthy and successful? How did I become so wealthy and abundant? How did I heal my relationship with money? How did I heal my relationship with my partner? How did I bring in 200,000 this year? How did I bring in $1 million this year? How did I get into grad school? How did I find my partner? We can put all these out there as affirmations and let the subconscious work on them while we sleep. Brilliant, brilliant question. And I am in love both with affirmations and with affirmations. And I agree with affirmations. If it is over the top positive, it may take a while for the subconscious to accept it, but you can make that groove in the record. For myself, the biggie in my life was I love myself. And now my hand goes up to my heart as I say that, and I put my hand over my chest, and it looks so goofy and weird. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Romy, everybody out there, when I did that affirmation the first time, which was probably 2001, 2002, I was in my bathroom. I probably heard Dr. Wayne Dyer talking about something, and I went in and I said, I'm going to give this a try. And I said, I love myself. And I shattered the bathroom mirror. I probably snapped the shower curtain in two. I ripped the cabinets apart. My subconscious was not willing to accept it. I probably should have started a little more gently and not while staring at myself in the mirror. It took time. But now I firmly, full-heartedly believed it. And it's not a grandiose, I'm great, look at me thing. It is such a deep love for myself that, oh my God, I know how much you've been through, Michael. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I love you. I love you. I love you. We all came from love. We are love. We're going to return to love. We couldn't be anything other than love, no matter how much we try. But it takes time to carve that new groove in the record. See what's next here on the question fun list? XO. So I'm guessing that's kisses, Angeli's kisses, or hugs and kisses, something like that. Hi, Michael and Jessica. Question: how does one deal with toxic relationships at work? Thank you for all you do. Much love for you both. Ho'oponopono. That's number one. Secondly, is this work where you belong? And is this something that over time you get to change, Angeles? With that said, Ho'oponopono is the number one by far favorite tool and technique for working with toxic individuals and toxic relationships. It is something that is an ancient Hawaiian prayer technique, an ancient Hawaiian healing technique. It has 4 lines to them, and I recommend repeating them over and over again while thinking about the person or persons that the relationship's not working with at work. And what I like to think of is, I'm kicking it way old school here, I think of like a 1950s jukebox. You know those things you see in the movies, they put the quarter in, you flip to the right song, you press A6 or something, and it plays a song on a record for you. So what you want to do is, in the jukebox of your mind, take a quarter that's that individual or individuals that's having a problem with you, drop it in to your jukebox, into your heart, and then I want you to repeat the 4 following lines for yourself, not for them. Realize we are all one. We are all connected. So saying this for yourself helps heal the relationship with them. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. You can do that on a bracelet over and over and over again. I'd recommend doing it at least 25, 26, 27 times. You can do it on a rosary bead or a Buddhist necklace like this. This is 108 beads, a a mala necklace. Do it 108 times. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. You go into work, you can keep repeating, I love you. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Thank you. The last thought I have. Whenever there is a toxic individual, first off, you don't have to do a dance with them, but realize they are suffering badly. They're really, really struggling. It may be coming out at you. It may be coming out as hateful, as vengeful, as spiteful, or worse, but they are suffering. So while you don't have to engage, you don't have to do a dance with them. If there is a way to send them love or to do anything to help them in their situation, even if they're not treating you fairly, if you can find a way to flip it on its head, it's again about opposites. If you can take that fuel, that toxicity, and flip it on its head and become Superman or Superwoman when it comes to them, you just may be able to change everything. This is a technique that I've used with a lot of coaching clients where they were leaving a job, they're looking for a new job, they're going to be working at a new wing in their business or their hospital or wherever it is. And I encourage them while they're there to dive into Ho'oponopono and to become Superman or Superwoman at work. And almost without exception, when they did leave, and each one of them did go on to greener pastures, but when it came time to leave, they were on fire. People didn't want them to go. They wanted them to stay. And they left with their head held high, that they had helped everybody there, that they found a way to change the situation, and they were on fire and empowered for their future. So I wish you all the blessings in the world. I know you can change this experience and make it a positive, absolutely, no matter what. Thank you, Angelus. Who do we have next? So let's see. It looks like we may be good on questions for the evening. So I'm going to open it up and see if there are any other questions. If not, it is a perfect time to break for the evening here. So are we good on Facebook? And we are good on YouTube. Is there anything that we want to cover here for this evening? Failure is never, ever what it appears to be. It is always, always, always steering and guidance. You may think that you're supposed to go left. I'm supposed to go left. I am a lefty. It's always left, 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 left. And then one door closes and the next closes and the next closes. And you can say, but I am, and try to bang your head against that wall. But instead, what I'd like you to do is step back. Go slow at this moment. There is a time for stepping forward. But when doors are closing, when things are blowing up in front of you, don't do what Michael has done in the past, like with a book tour completely gone bad and a transmission blowing up and a vehicle almost tipping on its side and getting broken into and 2 car accidents in the same day. Don't keep going forward. Say failure. Challenge. What do you have to teach me? Every experience in life, without exception, every single experience is here to teach us something. We are all in the school of life, on our earth school, here to learn things for our own personal greatness. If instead of viewing this as, oh my God, this is awful, and don't get me wrong, there are things and there are tragedies and there are losses that are, oh my God, this is awful. But even in the most awful of experiences, if you say, teacher, what are you here to teach me? What can I learn from the experience? You may get something out of it more incredible than you could possibly imagine. This doesn't take away the horrific pain of loss and sadness or sorrow. It can temper it, but it can certainly lead to brighter, more beautiful days ahead. And each time that you trip and fall can be an opportunity to learn and grow. My last thought, if we don't have any other questions, if we all learn by failure, it is an absolute mistake or tragedy that we are taught somewhere along the line that we're no longer allowed to fail. As kids, we all learned how to crawl. We all learned how to walk by falling on our knees, by falling on our face. We failed fast, we failed often, and we learned how to walk. And we did the same thing with learning how to hit a ball or learning how to ride a bicycle or any of the things that we learned that are most meaningful to us now when we were kids. We learned by failing. Somewhere along the way, we got lost. Somewhere in school, we started getting graded to where if you failed, instead of that being a great thing, that was a terrible thing. And you got marked down for it. And you started to become a fearful robot, afraid if I make mistakes, I am a bad person. No, you're an experimenter, or as I like to call it, an experimenter. You are somebody who tinkers, who tries, who dabbles, who goes for it. And out of going for it comes your most tremendous success. Fail fast, fail often, fail in 1,000 different ways as you step forward toward the success that is you. We've gone broke before. We've gone broke several times before, truth be told. I don't wish those experiences on you. I don't wish those experiences on us ever again. And I have a beautiful mantra that I love. Universe, all of our lessons, may they come kind, gentle, easy, good. But out of those experiences came brilliance. Most importantly for ourselves, out of those experiences came our automatic writing, which taught us how to step back, look big picture, and learn about ourselves and ask the questions, why do I keep failing? Why do I keep running into challenges with money? Why do I keep shooting myself in the foot? What do I have to learn from this? But when you ask those questions in your automatic writing, in your journaling, in your quiet walks out in nature, when you ask these questions and you listen and you lean into the pain and the fear of failure, which then disappears if you lean into it. It's like pushing on a spot in a massage, a deep massage. It hurts, and then it melts away. When you lean forward into that, the answers are there and waiting for you on the inside. So I'm going to pause here. I see Jessica's been typing a lot back and forth. Maybe we have another question or two. If not, we're going to wrap things up. I do want to thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Jessica, did we have another question? Okay, so it looks like the Facebook connection had stopped early. We will figure that out for the next time. For those of you watching in Facebook land, we will learn about that. Is there something you wanted me to say about that? Facebook connection stopped within the first minute, had to restart, missed all of the announcements. Please repeat the announcements. All right, I can do that. Please repeat the announcements. So our 3 announcements for the evening for everybody out there in Facebook land, for everybody out there in YouTube land. First off, our automatic writing program sale. It's half off right now. It's our early bird special for signing up right in the beginning. That is going through the 31st, through Saturday evening at midnight. If you want to learn how to deep dive, you want to learn how to get the deepest wisdom and guidance from the inside, you want to learn how to say, hey, money, hey, failure, hey, challenges in life, what do you have to teach me? Then get the automatic writing program. It's the simplest, easiest way to learn. It's 50% off right now if you go to inspirenationuniversity.com and click on the automatic writing program and add the code AWESOME50. That's AWESOME50, all capitals, AWESOME50. When you go to inspirenationuniversity.com, you'll get it for 50% off through Saturday night. And we do have a live class. You can do this entirely at your own pace, but we do have a live class every Thursday evening. It comes with 30 plus videos, binaural beat, brain entrainment music, a Facebook group so you can learn and grow together, and much more to help you through this process. We even have binaural beat music to help you fall asleep easier, because the easier you fall asleep, the easier it is to get up and dive into the wisdom in the morning as well. Second thing, we have a coaching sale just until we're full, and I'm nearly full now. I've got just 4 spots open for coaching at spring sale prices, which is the lowest price of the year. If you want a free strategy session with me, we'll talk one-on-one. We'll see what's a fit, what's not. And if nothing else, I'll help give you guidance on your way. And that's absolutely free. Simply come on over to inspirenationshow.com/coaching. Again, that's inspirenationshow.com/coaching. And the last thing I have is we are 100% supported by you, our audience. So if you want to support the show, if you want to become a part of the Inspire Nation family and get more goodness, more videos, more free content, plus occasional raffles and prizes, come on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Inspire Nation. Again, Patreon, patreon.com/Inspire Nation, and become a Backstage Pass member. I want to thank you so much for supporting the show. I want to thank you so much for being brave, for stepping forward on your own journey. Courage is a muscle. We've all been taught since we were young to become weak, to become dependent on others, dependent on our teachers, dependent on our mentors, dependent on our doctors, dependent on our parents, dependent on anybody but ourselves. As you fail often and fail fast, you become stronger. You become stronger in your own 2 feet. You become more independent. You become more of a free thinker. And you realize I can do anything in life if I step forward. Truly, truly anything. So I want to wish you the most beautiful evening ahead and week ahead. Come join us on Facebook. Come join us on YouTube. Come join us on iTunes. Send all my love your way, and above and beyond all else, shine bright. Woohoo!